Number 6. Let's start doing it now, and then we speak about it a bit. Sitting in the hips, both hands covered until. Then pushing with both feet against the ground. Open. And then gliding down along the kidneys meridian. We will speak about it. Down, down, down. Here, when you're down, go around the fingers, and you can place Lao Kong on bubbling well, on each one. If you can. I don't reach, so I just project. And then you can open and sink the shoulders, drop the elbows down. And again, opening the kidneys meridian here. Gliding with Lao Kong, washing the kidneys meridian. Down. Placing the Lao Kong on bubbling well. Sitting in the hips, push with both feet against the ground. Here we open the bladder meridian. We will see in the pictures and down. And again. And allow your head to hang right when it's down, so your neck is relaxed. Open. One more. Open the conception vessel all the way. And down. And let's correct. Open. All right. Let's speak a bit about this exercise. Feel free to have a seat. Okay, so the name of this exercise is 2 arms hold the feet to strengthen the kidneys and pelvis. It's a very interesting exercise. We will speak a bit about it now. So 8 pieces of brocade, it's like really 8 pieces, but they create more than the sum of their parts. So parts of, or pieces of brocade, yeah, you can imagine, you have pieces of brocade, and each piece, how I say it in English, I wrote to myself these words, interweaved, twined into one close. Okay, so they and create one piece of cloth. So this exercise I want to speak actually between this exercise, how it connects to the previous exercise, where we open the lungs. This will take me a bit back to what we spoke in the previous lesson, but I think it's worth it to understand the full picture. So in previous exercise, remember we spoke about quiet the excessive heat of the heart. How we do it? We open the lungs, and metal element has the ability, the quality of bringing the fire down, bringing the excessive heat down. Now, what is excessive heat actually? For example, excessive mental activity. Yeah, you might all relate to it, or most of you who, for example, have mental work, where your mind works very intensively at work. You arrive home and you cannot stop thinking. This kind of excessive mental activity where you cannot stop. You arrive home and instead of relaxing, you still want to control and keeping everything in this holding. Yeah, this is exactly excessive heat. So it's difficult to stop thinking. So what's happening actually, the intention, remember we spoke about 8 gates, right? The intention, which is the fire, is sent forward, but before it reaches the clarity and depth and calmness of the lake, new intention is generated, new will, new thought, and so on. So there is no opportunity to calm down. There is no opportunity for a gap, for a deep breath. So the mind is busy all the time. Obviously, chi will follow the mind and it goes up. And if there is no something which will be able to calm down this chi, then it will become ill in the upper region. So headaches can be, not focused vision, inability to calm down. Adrenaline is already in the blood and it's difficult to stop. Another aspect of it, that postnatal chi, remember we spoke about postnatal chi, which is generated with breathing, which is generated with food. It actually goes up instead of going down and merging with the prenatal jing. Jing, which is stored in the kidneys, remember? And it becomes stuck up and it becomes ill there. So what many people do to get release from this mind activity, from this overheating, some of the people drink alcohol, for example, or even take drugs, and it helps in a sense because it creates this release from the mind activity. It comes obviously with the price. It comes with relaxing, deep falling into relaxation, actually. Yeah. So actually, water goes down, and this will connect us to the next exercise. So what we want actually to create is what we call state after completion. Remember the previous exercise, open lungs. Metal brings the heat down. It brings, the heat can go down through the spaces, gaps in the body, through the conception vessel. It goes down, meets the jing in the kidneys, water element, yeah? And then water can come up. So we have this reversal, state after completion, which is kind of not natural if we don't practice this kind of like Tai Chi or Qigong. What naturally will happen, fire will stay up and water will go down. But we want this reversal. Yeah, and you can track yourself during the days and see where is this excessive heat. For example, I can give you my own example from previous lesson, right? So when we spoke about this reversal, right, I told you then the fire becomes down, it hits the water. Water evaporates, create spirit awareness, Shen. And actually, when I watched this video, after I thought to myself, oh my God, while explaining about excessive heat, I was myself in excessive heat and just showed you one part. Fire heats the water. But what I needed to mention to you actually is that water cools down the fire and keeps the fire under control. So fire is not chaotic, it's in limits, in balance. Now, it's not wrong to be imbalanced. The whole nature of this body-mind is to go out of balance and to return to balance. Take, for example, physical functioning, right? For example, you eat something sugary, right? And sugar starts to go up, and then insulin catches up and brings it to balance. So the whole of body-mind equation is built on going out of balance, returning to balance, overshooting, undershooting, overshooting, undershooting. So that's fine. But you can, as an observer, you can recognize this in your daily activities. You can watch after it and see the subtleties of it, which is beautiful. So now when we spoke that water cools down the heat, yeah, we can speak about water. The today's exercise, 2 arms hold the feet to strengthen the kidneys and pelvis. This exercise works on the kidneys, on Jing, prenatal chi. Yeah, it actually creates condition in the body so it can use Jing more efficiently. And obviously this relates to water elements. So we will see with you 2 meridians. The meridian of the bladder, which is the yang meridian, and the meridian of the kidneys, which is the yin meridian. Jing, the prenatal chi, is very personal. So you know the stories about people who live long lives, like 100 years or even more. I met such people, and they smoke and drink alcohol. No matter what, they're okay. So these people with strong Jing, but everybody's Jing is different. So when Jing is strong, like for example with these people, it's able to compensate, for example, for unhealthy style, unbalanced lifestyle. These are usually people with strong bones marrow. By the way, bones marrow, you know, it's related to generation of blood cell and to immune system as well. So this exercise, by working on the water element, it actually strengthens the immune system. What is excessive cold? So we spoke when water goes down. What happens when people experience excessive cold? So it's actually contraction, shrinking, yeah, of blood vessels, muscles, tendons. It slows down and blocks the movement. Yeah. In pathological state, it weakens the yang, the active part, and can damage it as well. So illnesses appear like getting cold, catching a cold, or it can be also pain of joints as well. Sometimes it can even weaken the stomach and result in diarrhea as well. Naturally, the state of cold is contraction. Yeah, also the water naturally tends to stagnate unless there is something which hits the water, which creates this movement of the water. Okay, so these two exercises, previous exercise and this exercise, like this. Yeah, they create this condition for after completion and create a balance. Let me show you now the meridians. I need to share the screen. Let me share. Okay, so let's have a look on the bladder meridian. You see it goes on the back, and you can relate to it, for example, when we come up from the exercise, hands very long forward, this actually opens this part of the meridian. And this is another, there are two lines of this meridian. Continues down like that and finishes at the little toe. Look again. You see, so this is also relates when we go down with the head down, right? And I tell to you, relax the muscles of the scalp. On the back of the leg. Through the calf, and then all right. So this is the meridian of the bladder. And then we have also the meridian of the kidneys. It starts kidney 1. It's called, this is a very important point, bubbling well, bubbling springs, they call it here. And then it goes on internal side of the leg and comes up on the front side of the body. So this is exactly the part which we open when we start this exercise. Okay, and what I also wanted to show you is the bubbling well point. So you see, this is bubbling well, it's here in the feet. And when we go with hands down, we want our, let's see, I think I saw somewhere a picture here of Lao Kong as well. Here, you see Lao Kong here? We want to put, I would bring this point a bit down towards this line here. So, but anyway, we want to Lao Kong to put on top of the bubbling well, or at least project there. Okay, so this is what I mean. Put the Lao Kong above the bubbling well. All right. Let me stop sharing. Let's do the exercise. And now maybe we can do it in a bit different variation. Let's first do at least a couple of times the original variation, which we started to speak. So you can relate to what we did now, what we explained. Opening the kidney meridian. And then gliding through the kidney meridian down. Continuing with kidney meridian, so we go on the internal side here. Down, 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 going around, and then placing glaucon above babbling well. Relax the neck, and then push with both feet against the ground. And down. Very good. I want to try another variation with you. Start like this. Go behind. Place the hands on the kidneys, open a bit. Then glide down on the bladder meridian. So hands go behind, on the calf, behind, reaches near the heel, goes around. Then again, you can place your hands glaucon above the babbling well, relax the neck. And then we go up on the kidneys meridian. And then from here, we can go up to the sides and relax. Once again. Or we can do something even stronger. Starts the same, exactly the same. Continue on kidneys meridian. But then go behind, open here, behind, and up. So it opens even stronger. And once again. Relax the breathing. Allow your breathing to be natural. Through the quad, up. And behind. And relax. And recollect. All right.